All right, I don't usually make talking videos, so I'm making a talking video using this white background as my lighting because it's kind of dark. But I was going to give a little background of my time in college so far as a wrestler, just kind of my story, give a little background. So freshman year, I came in and wrestled right away. I wrestled 125 pounds and was cutting a lot of weight. About halfway through the season, I ended up moving up to 133 pounds. I wasn't in a starting role, but I still got to wrestle a good amount of matches. And at this point, I was definitely starting to grow, so cutting weight wasn't really allowing me to do that. So then the following year, I ended up taking a gap year. Being at an Ivy League school, we don't do what's called red shirts as something that you would do at like any other school. So instead, in the Ivy League, we take gap years instead of a redshirt year. And during that time, I would wrestle in open tournaments, unattached, under the Pennsylvania Regional Training Center. And at the time, I was also working for the 76ers basketball team. I was a finance intern. I worked for them from October to June time, gained some good experience there. And overall, I was really happy that I did take that gap year. And that year, I wrestled 141 throughout the whole season at all the opens I wrestled in. The following year, I moved up to 149. I was still growing, starting to become a little bit more mature. If you ask anyone that knows me when I got to college, I still look like I was like 15 years old, so I still don't really look that old. But so now my sophomore year, I'm wrestling 149. I'm kind of fighting for a starting spot. I ultimately end up losing my wrestle off, but I am still having a pretty good year. First time breaking into the national rankings. And then about halfway through the season, I finally get my first start against North Carolina, break my foot in that match, still end up winning the match. Ended up getting surgery about 2 weeks later, so obviously my season was cut short. Obviously I was upset because my confidence was at an all-time high, and I just felt overall like I was getting exponentially better. So I kind of put an abrupt stop to that. So I went from wrestling to the best I ever had to not being able to walk for 6 weeks and riding around this scooter, which was quite annoying. A couple months go by. Now we're in June. I finally start wrestling again. At this time, I was really excited. I'm finally back doing what I love. And then just over a month later, during the last live go of practice, I end up tearing my ACL and my MCL. And when it happened, I knew it was not good. I get my MRI, scrolling through it, and then I just read full tear, MCL, full tear, ACL. So at the time of reading this, I immediately thought that I was going to have to get surgery and that I was going to have to miss this whole upcoming season. So now this is going into my junior year, and I'm assuming that I'm probably just going to get surgery in the next few weeks. But after some thought and some talking with my coaches, doctor, my parents, I ultimately decided that I was going to try to wrestle in a brace and delay the surgery until the end of the season. So that's what we did. So now another 2 months go by of rehabbing, still not wrestling, and now we're in October, and now I'm finally back on the mat wrestling this brace. The first 2 weeks were very rocky. I really didn't know if it was going to work because there was definitely some pain at first, but eventually kind of got over it. I wasn't back for wrestle-offs, and I wasn't back for the first tournament after that. The first tournament back was the Keystone Classic, which is a tournament that Penn hosts. I wrestled pretty well there, and in the finals there, I actually got to wrestle the returning national champion at my weight from the year prior. Now I'm in the full swing of things. I'm competing in these tournaments, but I'm still not in a starting spot. And then ultimately, when I got to the point where I realized I wasn't going to be the starter for the postseason, that's when I had to make the decision to get surgery and do what was best for my knee and my career. So I ended up getting ACL reconstruction surgery on February 6th. So it's been almost 10 weeks now. I haven't started running yet or anything like that, but if you watch any of my other videos, I'm sure you see me working out and stuff. If you've ever been hurt before, you know it's very challenging physically, but honestly, I think the most challenging part is the mental side. Having to go to practice every day and watch your teammates do the sport that you love. It can be hard, but the progress I've made in the last 10 weeks, I think, has been very good. So I'm going to keep pushing, and we're going to be back very soon. So that's been kind of my journey so far, guys. If you stay till the end to listen to this, appreciate it, and thanks for listening.